This is the video Writing 4. Study and memorize the following kanji and vocabulary. Write out the kanji in Homework Book 2. This kanji means oneself and is used in the vocab item jibun, meaning oneself. This kanji is used in the vocab items omo, which is a na adjective which means main, omoni, which means mainly, shugo, which means subject, and shujin, which means husband. One of the meanings of this kanji is dialect, and it's used in the vocab items Kanto ben, which means a Kanto dialect, and Kansai ben, which means Kansai dialect. This kanji means other, and it's used in the vocab items hoka, which means another, and hokani, which means in addition or besides that. This kanji is used in the vocab item kana, which refers to the kana scripts in general, and also it's used for hiragana, which means hiragana, of course. This kanji is used in the word katakana, meaning katakana, of course, and also for katamichi, which means a one-way trip. This kanji means a letter, as in an alphabetical letter, and it's used in the vocab items moji, meaning which means a letter or writing, and romaji, which is of course Japanese written in English script, and it's also used in the vocab item myoji, which means a family name. This kanji is one of the old names for China, and it's used in the vocab item kanji, meaning kanji, and also kanbun, which is a form of classical Japanese. This kanji means to write and is read as kaku. This kanji means to read and is read as yomu. This kanji is used in the vocabulary item kunyomi, which means the Japanese reading of a kanji. This kanji means sound and is read as oto. It's also used in the vocab item onyomi, which means the Chinese reading of a kanji. This kanji means word and is read as kotoba, and it's also used in the vocab items meishi, meaning a noun, and daimeishi, meaning a pronoun. This kanji is used in the vocabulary items setsume, which means an explanation, and setsume suru, which means to explain something. This kanji is used for the vocab item ugokasu, which means to move something, and ugoku, which means something moves. It's also used for dorshi, which means a verb, tadorshi, which is a transitive verb, and jidorshi, which is an intransitive verb. This kanji is read as katachi, and it means form or shape, and it's used in the vocab item ningyo, which means a doll, and in the place name Yamagata Ken, which is Yamagata Prefecture. This kanji means valley, and it's read as tani, and it's used in lots of place names, including Ichigaya and Yotsuya, both of which are in Tokyo. This kanji is used in the vocab items keiyoshi, which means an adjective, and keiyodoshi, which means a na adjective. This kanji is used in the vocab items taskeru, which means to save somebody or to help somebody, and this is a root group verb, so the mas form is taskemas, and it's also transitive. The intransitive version is taskaru, so the mas form of that would be taskarimas. And it's also used for the word joshi, which means a particle, like in grammar. This kanji is used in the vocab items mokuteki, which means a goal or a target, mokuteki go, which means an object in grammar, kindaiteki, which means modern, and nihonteki, which means Japanese. This kanji means a title or a theme, and it's read as dai, and it's used in the vocab item wadai, which means a topic. This kanji is used in the following vocab items: toru, which means to pass along. Toru is a group verb, so the mas form is torimas. It's also an intransitive verb, and it's used in the expression michi o toru, which means to go along a road. So far we've only used the particle o as a direct object particle in transitive sentences, but there's another o in Japanese which is used with intransitive verbs of motion, which we'll study about. And this is also used in the vocab item torsu, which means to pass something over. That's a transitive verb. And tsujiru, which means to communicate, and also kayo, which means to commute